Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien. And today's topic is on the Palestinian situation in Israel. There isn't a single country in this planet that understands that situation. That situation was caused by the decision by the United Nations to partition Israel into Arabs and Israelis parts. And the way they did it was terrible. They put the areas that were outlined that made the most sense are Israel and Transjordan. But the way they did the Israeli area of Palestine, Transjordan is okay. It survived with not much problems to it. And the problems that it has been caused by the United Nations with the Palestinian situations. When they divided Palestine, and they had Arabs living in the Palestinian territory, which they wanted to create a Jewish state, so they formed areas as the Gaza Strip and the West Bank where they had Arabs, i.e. Palestinians, as they call themselves, into both areas. The West Bank, they gave to Transjordan to administer, which became Jordan. Egypt got the Gaza Strip. And the rest of it was known as the State of Israel. So in 1948, of course, Egypt didn't want that. So they caused a war that ended in early 1949 with a stalemate. Jerusalem got partitioned into the Arab city and the Jewish city. Crazy thought there, huh? And the people that were in the Israeli territories were put into, if you live in a certain area, you got put into Gaza, and if you live in a certain area, you got put into the West Bank. Here we are, almost 80 years later, and we still got the same problem. We started with the PLO that was formed in 1964, and they said that they were ruling over all of the West Bank. But they made their headquarters in the West Bank, not Gaza. Gaza they treated as a stepchild. It's always been a stepchild, Gaza, because most of the power was in the West Bank. I mean, that's where Jerusalem is. That's where the Christianity problem and Islam is there. Gaza is more of a desert that nobody wanted. So then it developed its own people from 1949 till present. The PLO wanted nothing to do with Gaza because they couldn't control it. You would have asked Yasser Arafat, he would have told you to hell with Gaza. We got the West Bank. We control the West Bank. Well, as Arafat's long gone, and the PLO became the Palestinian Authority, which is a joke. And then you had this heavy group called Hamas over there that got a hold of Gaza. And all they want is to annihilate the state of Israel. They want nothing to do with Gaza. They just want to annihilate the Israelis and take over the territory. And what happens after that? Oh well, we don't know. We don't plan that far in the future. We just want to eliminate the Israelis. Palestinians wanted that too. But the problem is that war is only about two things. I want to annihilate you and I want to survive. And both Israelis and Americans have got to understand that the Israelis that are and the Americans that are under Hamas control are never going to see the light of day because of two things. One, the stupid thinking of the United States and the world. Two, the stupid thinking of Israel, specifically Netanyahu. It's not a two-state solution, it's a five-state solution here. And a five-state solution means that you got to talk to the people of Gaza and say, we want representatives from your side, not Hamas. Hamas, you got a certain time to eliminate Gaza and find someplace else that'll take you. I don't think Hezbollah would like you in their territory, but you could try them, or Iran. But move out of Gaza. We don't need your kind there. Same thing with the Palestinian Authority. Move out of the West Bank. You're a pain in the woo-woo. Palestinians on the West Bank. You want to stay there? Okay. But we need representatives of you and representatives from the people of Gaza to form separate, distinct states for the time being, which would have UN defense security and an ironclad Israeli security that says we will not attack you if you do not attack us, on both sides. Also, you need, and the Palestinians in the West, in the Gaza, to figure out what they want to do with the territory that they occupy. You're never going to occupy the Israeli territory because that was done back in the UN in 1947 or 1948, and it was partitioned. And the war that ended up there with the Israelis coming out on top in 1949 cemented it. So there goes Palestine. It no longer exists as of 1949. But you have those two areas that the UN created. I don't know why they did it. They did the same thing in India. Eventually that got sorted out a bit. Not perfectly, but they got 3 states out of that. Pakistan, Bangladesh, and India out of British India. Here you would have Israel, whatever the West Bank calls itself, and Gaza, whatever they want to call themselves, 3 states. Same thing. That's the only way you can do it, with the cooperation of Egypt and Jordan, which are the 2 surrounding nations there, and Saudi Arabia as the power in the region. Whether you're going to do that or not, well, that's up to you guys. But that's a suggestion. You're going to have people from Gaza and people from the West Bank that are not Hamas and that are not the Palestinian Authority to negotiate with people from Egypt, Jordan, Israel, and Saudi Arabia as the power in hand. Leave Qatar out of it. Qatar is they are crazy. But you have to understand Israel is there to exist, and so is Gaza, and so is the West Bank. And you have to decide on Jerusalem. Israel is going to have to move from Jerusalem. That is not an Israeli city. That is an international city with 3 religions having place in there. So the United Nations should consider that an open international city. This is your favorite alien saying, you guys are stupid that you can't figure this out. And you're fighting and people are dying for nothing. Good day.